Take it. Okay, Mr. Mayor, good morning, everyone. I'm Henry Alvarez I'm the director of the Housing Authority, and today Mayor Lee will be announcing probably one of the most extraordinary funding announcements ever in the history of my 26 years in this business to ever occur. Today we're gonna get twins. The mayor's gonna talk about two choice initiative planning grants. And this, I believe, just culminates the mayor's leadership, cements his ideas about Hope SF and our commitment to Hope SF, restores hope to Hope SF and to our residents. We have a cadre of our resident leaders here, our commissioners, the mayor. I want to just be clear that this is a priority for the Housing Authority. It's a priority for me. It's a priority for our residents. We are committed to Hope SF. We expect and intend to move it forward, and the mayor's announcement is just another major accomplishment in moving that initiative forward. So Mayor Lee, I have also the Deputy Director from HUD here, from the Department of Housing and Urban Development, Mr. Wayne Sacedo. He's gonna lead us, and then we'll have Mayor Lee up in just a moment.
All right, thanks, Henry.
All right.
Thank you very much. And it really is a privilege and pleasure to be here with you all today. And just to build on Henry's comments, it is extraordinary that of 17 choice neighborhood implementation grants across the country that were awarded yesterday by HUD, 2 of them are in the same state. And it's even more extraordinary that both of them are in the same city, San Francisco. So congratulations. So for context, I just want to mention a few things, this is no news to all of you here in the room and to the people who are standing up here with me today. But today in America, more than 10 million people are living in neighborhoods of concentrated poverty, surrounded by disinvestment and limited opportunities for themselves and for their children. And we know that one of the most important factors in determining the economic and financial success of people's, whether or not a child grows up in those high poverty neighborhoods. The fact that we can predict health, economic, and educational outcomes of our children based on their zip code, based on where they live, is really a tragedy. And it's not something that we as Americans want to see as an outcome for our next generations. So part of the Obama administration's neighborhood revitalization initiative, the Choice Neighborhoods, it builds on Hope 6 and public housing revitalization program. And with Choice Neighborhoods, including the planning grants that we're announcing here in San Francisco, we intend to replicate that success across the country. Today, as you all know, every federal dollar is precious. And with Choice Neighborhoods, we've been able to leverage those federal dollars with private capital. Across the country, we have about $122 million in choice neighborhood implementation grants, including $30 million that was awarded just a little bit ago for the Alice Griffith housing development in the Bayview. But it's those $122 million have leveraged an additional $1.6 billion in private and other public funding. And that's a ratio or a return of 13 to 1, which is extraordinary as well. So a couple things: the two planning grants. One in the Potrero neighborhood, Bridge Housing Corporation will develop plans to build a fully revitalized and sustainable community of approximately 1,600 mixed income units. And in the Sunnydale neighborhood, the Sunnydale Development Corporation will use this grant to create a transformation plan for the neighborhood and address and reverse the community's long-standing distress. It's really important to also call out the other important partners: City College of San Francisco, UCSF School of Public Health, the San Francisco Department of Public Health, the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, the San Francisco Department of Recreation and Parks, YMCA, the Boys and Girls Club, among many others, to deliver the needed opportunities and services. And at the outset, what I wanted to also to say, and really I was kind of taken by Henry's comments, and so I kind of diverted a little bit, but I want to just say how pleased I am to join the mayor here and Supervisor Amelia Cohen and Alex Lazar from the Office of House Minority Leader Pelosi, representatives here from the two neighborhoods and others. And really to say that you know, and I think, Henry, you talked about the mayor's leadership here and really about the vision of transforming our housing, improving schools, and spurring economic development, that these are the most effective when local institutions in the public and private sectors really work together, kind of harness, put their resources together, break down barriers, and cut through the red tape. So thank you very much for your leadership. So Choice Neighborhoods is just one powerful example of the Obama administration's commitment to helping government invest smarter and more effectively. So we do more of what works, stop doing what doesn't work, and forge the partnerships we need so we can solve the tough challenges like interracial poverty once and for all. Yesterday I was on Eddy Street, and we were talking about that it takes on average over two generations really to break that cycle of poverty. And what people are trying to do is to reduce that, to break it in one. So those are the efforts I think we're trying to help support. So we want to make sure every American has a chance to get ahead, whoever they are and wherever they live. Whether it's a second grader that gets a chance to go to a good elementary school, or a parent who can walk their child safely to school on their way to work around the corner. Choice Neighborhoods recognizes that America built to last draws strengths from its communities, from their ability to plan for the future and to tap all the resources. That's what it's going to take to build an economy for the 21st century, and that's what these grants are all about. So thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Salcedo, and thank you to our HUD partners. And at this moment, I know I don't need to introduce him. I just want to present to all of you Mayor Edwin Lee.
Thank you, Henry, and thank you, Deputy Administrator Salcedo, for being here today. Two fantastic planning grants from HUD as part of a very intense national competition. And the reason that we got this nod was because the people in the southeast corridor of our city has decided they're going to come together and get this done. This is a choice. This is a choice that we made with our residents here, that we're going to better ourselves. We're going to lift ourselves up. We're going to do it together. That's what it means. That's why the housing authority is here, because they believe in the same thing. I want to thank the Housing Authority commissioners and staff. Henry, a fantastic job. Reverend Amos Brown, leadership with all the commissioners. I want to thank our partners. The $300,000 grants, Sunnydale and the Potrero Hill, reflect, Deputy Administrator, a collaboration and an agreement that we're doing it the right way. And I want to thank President Obama. He has been wonderfully supportive of the examples that we provided here. I want to thank Secretary Sean Donovan and his staff and the regional staff for recognizing what is going on here. I want to thank Hope SF and all of the partners that we created. You know, I was here when the planning grant was given to Alice Griffin. And, you know, it wasn't just the celebration of the grant. We went to work. We went to work with the residents, the neighbors. We went to work with our supervisor. And I know Malia Cohen is still out of breath because she's running over here. She knows how important this is for her constituents, for this district. But most importantly, we knew that if we didn't just talk the talk, that if we actually took the residents with us and took all of the talent that we had in the city, from the Housing Authority to our Mayor's Office of Housing, to the redevelopment people, to the private developers, to the staff that has been so diligent, to the private nonprofit sector, the incredible community-based organizations like TURF and YWCA and the Bayview Y, all these wonderful people who've been struggling for many, many years saying, can we get some help? Can we get some love in this town? Can we do something that will instigate a collaboration of all of us? And then we have some really talented nonprofits like Bridge and Enterprise and Mercy coming together and saying we could all do this. And then we team up with Hope SF and the SF Foundation and all the partners that they've created in saying it's not just brick and mortar that we're doing here. It's people first. The first thing we have to do is bring hope to the people who are living there. And then we went about saying, how's the right way to do it? What are the best examples of rebuilding, not housing? We said rebuild community. That's what we invested in. And that's where our labor partners became so important too, because we needed people trained and retrained in skills. We needed them to say, you're going to help us build this community, not we're going to build it for you, and if you can afford it, come back in or leave. That's what we did in years past. We've learned from our mistakes, and we learned it well. We invest in people first, and that's what these planning grants reflect. It's a recognition and a partnership that investing in people are the most important things we can do, and that's how this city is going about doing. I'm very proud. I'm proud that because, you know, Buster Posey hit a grand slam, and we all celebrate that. And I'm going to use baseball analogies from here on. But these two planning grants are home runs in and of themselves, but they don't win the series. They don't win the whole ball game. But they are important building block steps of confidence that involve the people. The next people up at bat, next people that have do things are the people themselves. And you're going to get trained in the jobs that we need. You're going to help us create better schools with our school district, because that's part of the neighborhood, better transportation systems, small businesses that dot all of the streets that we're rebuilding and used the old redevelopment and now the successor agency called Office of Community Investment and Infrastructure. They're succeeding. They're going to be the ones there. They're going to use smart investment strategies with the community to build businesses there, because we've learned you can't just put poor people in housing and expect them to survive and succeed. That's not how we've all done it. We've done it because we built communities, and people can start working in different economic spectrums, different ethnicities, bringing people together. And how do you figure out how the best neighborhood restaurants and small businesses come together? You invest in this neighborhood. And that's why Choice Neighborhoods is such a significant program. And I had a chance to speak with Secretary Donovan. I told him, Choice Neighborhoods, okay, we're going to have all this debate in the federal government about not doing Hope 6 and not investing in HUD. We have threats of discussions going on about the future of HUD. But if you allow us the opportunity to work with our people, then we're going to succeed. Because if we put people first, that's always going to succeed. And that's what we're doing, and that's what's being recognized. I am so proud of our neighbors, our residents, our community-based organizations that stepped up and said, with both labor, with the city, with our strange bureaucracies that have to change all the time, and people and leaders are stepping up all over the place to help with this, from the city administrator to public works to all the agencies that you see reflected behind us. Let's continuing investing in our people, and then the home runs will come. And then you see Alice Griffith and the $30.5 million to start putting brick and mortar together with the residents. Keep having to repeat that. That's the most important thing, is with our residents helping to build and helping to get the jobs and helping to start the services and helping to transform our communities and make sure people don't leave, that they have a hope here to stay and to build their future. That's what these planning grants are all about. And these home runs will then lead to the multi-millions of dollars of good series that we're going to do on our way to a world-class city with world-class standards and world-class opportunities for all of us to share in. Thank you, all of you, very much for working so hard. And for 3 years of uninterrupted effort without a lot of praise, with some people in the community still not understanding, and they do things that we don't want to have happen, but we're going to still work with them. We're going to still present hope. We're going to still get our kids the opportunity. I'm so proud of all of you for being here, for celebrating these home runs. Now let's get to the real all series for everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much. And then next up, we have Supervisor Malia Cohen.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. It's good to see you. Leave it to the mayor to always give a shout out to the Giants. My goodness. He's so smooth in how he just slips that in. I would just like to acknowledge that the Niners are doing just as well, okay? Looking forward to that game coming up on Thursday. So hello, everyone. Welcome. This is exciting. It's good to see a fairly good, decent representation of the Housing Authority, of residents, of friends and family and staff. Thank you so much for being here. Secretary Donovan. No? No?
You can say hello. I'll say hello for you.
All right.
Wayne, I'll say that.
Wayne, thank you for being here and thank you for representing the secretary. Is that correct? Okay, thank you. Make a note of my talking points. Okay. Somebody's job is on the line. Just kidding, Megan. Okay. But in all seriousness, today is a wonderful day. We really have an opportunity to celebrate it. I mean, it started, remember last year in August when many of us came together about the $30 million grant that Sunnydale received? I don't know if you remember, but I got a little choked up. And today, here we are still celebrating 2 grants for two pieces of large parts of San Francisco. Potrero Hill. Anyone from Potrero Hill? I know we got some Potrero Hill folks. And we got, thank you, we got Sunnydale here, Visitacion Valley. Thank you for being here. We got people born and raised. This is like a pep rally. Forgive me. If the mayor can go on, so can I, okay? This is the most exciting part of San Francisco. I mean, yes, we deal with some really challenging things and we make some interesting votes, but we also get it right. And I think this is the quintessential example of us getting it right, partnership between the federal government, local government, and our residents, lockstep, hand in hand, making change happen. I mean, it's like a tsunami of change that is happening, and it's not going to crush us like it might have in the past. This is actually a tide that's going to continue to lift us up and bring us out of the darkness. And so I'm just really pleased to be here to celebrate Choice Neighborhood Grants, the planning grant for Sunnydale and Potrero, both neighborhoods that, as you know, I'm very honored to represent. Thank you, Director Alvarez, for all of your leadership, your hard work, your commitment. You are a true testament of exactly what public housing can produce. You beat the myth. You are reframing the conversation, and I thank you for your leadership. Mr. Mayor, thank you again for allowing Henry to continue to have a job. And and thank you for your leadership as well. And more importantly, your commitment to the southeastern neighborhoods, because it goes far beyond just public housing and making sure that Hope SF gets built, but also a commitment to the merchants along each and every one of our corridors, particularly those that continue to need our investment. So thank you very much. City Administrator, thank you. Thank you. So both Potrero and Sunnydale have unique challenges. I think there's no secret about that. That's why we're here. We're particularly excited to celebrate the commitment of putting our money where our mouth is, where our mouth has been for years. And so now it's the manifestation of greatness. I'm committed to the improvements for Sunnydale as well as Potrero, and I as supervisor will continue to work towards safer streets, more resources, stronger commercial corridors, and opportunities for education and employment for everyone. To echo what's been said earlier this morning, the Choice Neighborhood Initiative programs, the goals of not only investing in the neighborhood and housing, but also improving the lives of residents. I think that is what we're talking about here. We're putting people in front of policy instead of people behind policy. Sometimes people get run over when there's bad policies that are in place, but now we are putting the people first, and we are supporting them with good, solid, thoughtful policy, solid and thoughtful leadership. As a city, we're so fortunate to have big and bold projects. Yes, they're lofty. We've got millions of dollars that we're trying to raise here. Thank you, Sandra Hernandez, for your leadership and helping us get there. We've got, Blue Angels. We've got possibly an impending new Warriors Stadium. We're leading the way in technology, looking for ways to creatively innovate our transportation system, but it's really about an investment in the success of the neighborhoods in San Francisco, because that's what counts. When a neighborhood is strong, the city is strong. And that is a message that cannot be remiss. We cannot ever forget and lose sight of that. So thank you, HUD, for making your grant of $300,000 per site and for believing in our city's comprehensive approach to improve public housing, to support our residents. I think it's unheard of that we received 2. Right? That's just how special the San Francisco city is. That's just how awesome we are. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to take about 2 minutes. I need to just thank a bunch of folks. Of course, Mayor Lee, thank you for this opportunity. I know the last time we had an opportunity to do this, I did this little dancing. That's not going to happen today. I am, though, just shouting and carrying on, but we're not going to be doing any dance. But, we have Dr. Hernandez, my chairman, vice chairman, Saez, our commissioners, Honeycutt. I think Alan is here, our public housing tenant president, Joyce, Turf, Kim Mitchell back there, Gina at the Y, and lots of other folks, Mr. Salcedo. I want to just have Alex step out for a second. We couldn't do this without the Leader Pelosi. Hopefully soon as we the speaker again. And all of these folks. It takes a village to get this done. To all of my friends and colleagues, I know I've been a pain. I've been chiding and making you. And to one guy, I really need to say a special thanks. And if you just step up here with me for a second, because this is really important. I spent 18 hours on a plane driving this guy crazy about these planning grants. And I mean, just elbowing him, sitting next to him. Of course, we're in the middle seats, and it's a 6.5-hour ride from D.C., and all he did was smile. So I just want to say thank you for believing in us and for going after the 2 grants. So for everyone, thank you very much. It's our absolute pleasure. Yay, Giants. Yay, 49ers. Commissioner Safai is here, too, as well. Thank you all, and thank you, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate it.